Hello, class. Today I will be discussing the case of Bruss versus North Mississippi. So, this case follows a counselor, last name Bruff, unknown first name, at when she filed a lawsuit against her former employer in the state of Mississippi. The lawsuit follows Bruff as she had been counseling a female client for several months, and then one day the aforementioned client came out to her and informed her that she was a lesbian. And the client had requested Bruff advise her on a romantic relationship she was having with another woman. Bruff, in turn, explained to her her religious beliefs and stated that she could not help her with those any issues she may be having with her romantic partner. However, she would be willing to help her in anything else. Following that, the client complained about her to her employer, and Bruff was immediately terminated. This leads us into the lawsuit in which Bruff argued that she had the right to deny anyone services based on her religious beliefs, and her employer had known about her religious beliefs but had never accommodated to them. She also argued that her client would be in violation of Mississippi sodomy laws, and she would have a right to refuse service. She further argued that this particular client was not an issue per se, but rather anyone outside the realm of a heterosexual marriage is someone she could not counsel on their romantic relationship only. She made it clear that she could counsel someone in anything else. Her former employer argued that they could fire her for whatever reason, and because of she was denying one of the client's services. The state of Mississippi didn't side with Bruff and awarded her over $400,000 in legal and damages. And although her former employer tried to refile, they were never able to. This case really set the stage for how counselors can both turn down clients, and also it takes the side of religious freedom and freedom of association. Now, how does this court case impact me as a counselor? Well, as many of you know, or will soon know, is that I am a religious Catholic, and with that there are certain laws and standards within Catholicism that I must follow, and obviously I would not discriminate against anyone, but at the same time I cannot go against my faith and religious beliefs. I am more than happy to counsel anyone, but at the same time, there are certain things that I obviously cannot do. And I think that this court case is kind of challenging because on one hand, I am a big proponent of religious freedom and freedom of association, but at the same time, if we consider counselors similar to that of doctors, they aren't supposed to turn down anyone's services. For me, in this particular case, and how this would impact me as a counselor, I think that I obviously I don't think that there would be a situation in which I would turn down someone's services. With that being said, there are situations which I cannot and will not accommodate. There's our situations that would go against my religious beliefs, and I would not say. I don't want to say I wouldn't necessarily tolerate them, but I would make it. I would, and as I've stated in the past, I would be very open about my religious beliefs from my first session. So I think there are situations in which I would have issues, and I think there are situations in which most people would have issues. So I am in favor of this in a sense where the ruling in a sense where I'm a proponent of religious freedom and the freedom of association, but at the same time, I think it can be really challenging to turn down a client, especially if they are in need of help. With that being said, I do think it's a very important factor in this case is that when the counselor stated that she would be more than willing to help the client with anything but the exception of her romantic relationship because it's something that she deemed a sin. And it is wrong to make counselors participate in a sin because that would be what she is doing. I'm not familiar with what her religion was, but I suspect it is some form of Christianity, and same-sex marriage and relationships in Christianity are sins. So it definitely is a tough situation to navigate because you do have to ask the question, what what lines are you willing to cross? Are you willing to cross any? And should a counselor even be allowed to turn down clients? Because if we do view them as doctors where you're not supposed to turn down any clients, how does one navigate that? So those are my overall thoughts. A little bit jumbled, I suppose. But thanks for hearing me out.